Hey guys, welcome in. Sunday nights, Energy Healing Live, same time, same place, every week. And we're here talking about intuition this week. And I have a special teaching, a special story for you all, something that came from my own experience in the last couple weeks. So, not feeling energy, not hearing our intuition, not feeling the spirit in us actually takes more energy and more effort than hearing it, than feeling it. To not feel our energy around us or our intuition means that we're disconnected, right? So then why do so many of us feel disconnected at times, a lot of the time? Why do so many people say, oh, I'm not an intuitive person? Everyone is intuitive. Everyone is connected to this energy. Because the truth of the matter is the majority of us are living in fight or flight. Where our energy field, we're hovering just above our bodies. And to feel our intuition, to hear from the spirit, we have to be fully in our bodies. Well, what is in the body? The body is where pain and trauma. We have to fully feel it. When we're in our body, every single emotion, every single energy, everything that's coming up, when we're in the body, we feel. We do this as a protection mechanism that we hover just above our bodies and say, our spirits, our connections living right above here. It's out of protection. But when we have done our energy healing, when we're doing the inner work, when we're healing our traumas, when we're bringing just awareness to our field, we can sink back in the body, and then we'll reconnect with our intuition and we'll feel that feeling that we want to feel, connected, in tune, guided, all the things. But I promise you, your ability to feel in this protection mechanism that you go through, your ability to feel and turn the protection off is the most powerful thing about you. When you can feel in this human experience what you're going through, that is powerful. You are power. I mean, think of the world that we're in and the atrocities and the intensities of everything we're going through. When we shut off our ability to feel, we lose that connection to ourselves, to the world around us, and our ability to feel our intuition. So today, I wrote a blog post. I published it. It's called How My Intuition Got Me Engaged. So on 2/22/22, on that Tuesday, I got engaged. But here's the cool thing. It's provided an amazing lesson for me, and that I want to share with you all about intuition. So I got switched into fight or flight. My intuition started to show me the whole thing before it happened. I was blow drying my hair on a Monday morning, and boom, 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 boom. 3 images came in. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is Monday the 21st. I'm like, tomorrow I'm getting engaged on 2/2/22. Never would have thought it would happen this soon. I was blown away. So, but what happened is on 2/2/2/22, I took the Hot Mess Express emotional roller coaster and landed into my proposal because my intuition, because I blocked my intuition once I got in fight or flight, once I got out of my body, and once I got into my head. So I'll tell the story, but first I want us to do our intuition healing. I want us to connect with our intuition, and I'll bring a special guest on after this to help me tell the story. I bet you guys can guess who it is. And then we'll still do our healing. And if anyone wants to come on, anyone needs help, advice, the group or me to tap into their body, to their field, and see what's going on and do an intuitive reading. So, are you all ready to connect with your intuition, to feel it? Yeah. I think if you're here, if you signed on to something called an Energy Healing Live on a Sunday evening, or depending on where you're at in the world, that this is what you came for. So go ahead and get in your space. I'm just going to say a couple of statements about intuition. So you can go ahead and close your eyes down if that feels good to you, and feel the resonance of each one of these statements. And maybe think of a time that an example might come to mind from your spirit, or you might be led to see a time where this applied to your life. So take a deep breath in. A little warm up to the healing. Intuition always sounds like you. It will always sound like you because it's filtered in through the top of our head or through our crown. It will come from above and into our body. Or intuition on MRI scan, our heart or our belly will light up first, and then we can see the message travel up the spinal cord into the brain, into the processing center. So intuition will always sound like us. We often think that our angels or our guides or our spirit is going to have like this ominous voice that we don't recognize, but intuition, our guidance is always going to sound like us. So bring your left hand to your heart, your right hand to your belly. Or if you feel, some of you will feel your crown like expanding. You're going to also bring hands to your head. Just tap in and see if you can find on your body. Mine's right here, where your intuition lights up. And it also has to do with your human design. You can see on your human design, some of us, I think I'm a sacral defined center. So it will show where you're meant to feel intuition in your body. And if it's immediate, if you need to sit on it, human design has a lot of great information on how your intuition works in your body. So feel into that here. Intuition always surprises us. It's never logical. So in my story, on a Monday morning, I'm blow drying my hair. I'm thinking about work. I'm thinking about my business. And all of a sudden I see these images playing out. And thank goodness my guidance, my intuition wanted to bring this in, because then I was more fully prepared. Honestly, when Jeff told me to wear something nice, I probably would have showed up in yoga pants. And I would have been like, it's fine. But my intuition was helping me prepare and grow excited and build up all this beautiful energy around the proposal. So intuition always surprises us, and thought is always logical. Take a deep breath in. Intuition is always felt through the body, and thought is created in the mind. So think about a time you had a gut feeling, that you had a knowing, and you could feel it in your body before you felt it in your mind. And I'll give some examples when I'm telling my story here in a little bit of my body was telling me one thing and my mind was telling me another. And we can be so tricked. Our world around us, in front of us, can look like there's no way what our intuition is telling us, what the spirit is showing us is true. But something in our body says to keep going, to keep believing it, right? I'm feeling this in my dad's healing journey right now. That's something in my body is like, keep going. There's hope. The body resonates. The body lights up. The mind will say, well, look at these facts. Look at everything in front of us. That's the ego versus the spirit. That's the mind versus intuition. All right, so let's get started right away so I can tell the story, and we can bring special guest on to help me tell the story. And let this, it's fun and exciting it will be for me to talk about my engagement. Let this speak to you. My story is no different than how this intuition is trying to work in your life. But first, let's tune in with intuition. Let's open ourselves up. So settle into your space. Getting right to it. Immediately when you drop in your body, notice if any part of your body is lighting up. I got this ear thing going on. And last night I tuned into what that would mean, and it's putting others' needs before yourself. And I can tell you, guilty as charged, that's exactly what I've been doing the last couple of weeks. And I'm okay with it, but my body's letting me know I gotta slow down. So go to your body. Immediately take a knee, and just by doing this, bringing attention to my ears, going away. Bring attention to the body right away as you drop in. Remember, we live in fight or flight, so we're hovering up here, dropping into the body. You're going to bam, 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 bam. Start to feel those messages your body's been trying to bring you. So take a deep breath in, roll the shoulders up towards the ears. Exhale, drop the shoulder blades behind your back. Inhale 2 more times. And one more. Inhale, shoulders up towards the ear. Hold them here. Exhale, let your torso fall. Shoulder blades drop. Maybe take a few neck circles. Going all the way around. Ooh, tight, stiff neck. Go in the other direction. Make your body feel like a safe place to be. Tilt your nose up. All the way up. As you exhale, bring your chin to your chest. Good. Inhale, lift the shoulders one more time up towards the ears. Exhale. Drop your shoulders. Some of us need to clear a little bit right away, so just kind of take a few. Inhale. Exhale. So one deep belly breath in, followed by a out. Just sweep it off. Carrying something from your family, from the news, from the world, just come into your space. And then as soon as you drop into your body, you're going to get a little message. What feels good, what doesn't feel good. Listen to it. We're going to move on past this. So take note of it. Thinking about tucking it away in a little box in the left brain. Feel your breath start to slow, start to deepen. Deep belly breath in through your nose. Sigh it out of your mouth. Deep belly breath in through your nose. I am. Exhale, safe in my body. Left hand to heart, right hand to belly. Remember, your soul chose this body. This is the body you chose to incarnate with. You chose to have this experience. This is the body God made to connect you to the source. This is your temple. This is your vessel. This is your antenna. This is your telephone line. Connecting deeper to your breath here. Take your attention towards your feet. Make sure the arches of your feet feel relaxed. Your kneecaps aren't holding any tension. Your shoulders aren't holding any tension. Give yourself a couple circles in the hips if you need. Sway back and forth. Inhale, exhale. Drop the chest. Let your heart space open. Be vulnerable here. This is a safe place. Feel your cheeks soften. Let your face kind of droop. Your eyelids fall heavy. And then immediately allow your mind to take you to that place in nature that your body's craving. I gotta do a little work on my ear. Maybe you see pine trees. Maybe you see a beach. Just notice this place is where your body does not feel in fight or flight. If you have a part of your body that's giving you sensation, go ahead and take a hand there. Your hands are electromagnetic. You're going to start to pull this built-up energy out. Continuing with your breath. In this place, you're no longer in fight or flight. Imagine yourself finding a place to lie down. You're in the sun, starting to feel the rays of the sun on your body, the sounds of the nearby water. Deep belly breath in. Exhale, let it go. Deep belly breath in. Exhale, let it go. Your body melts. You can visualize your brain waves in your mind going from very busy, high frequency, static brain waves, alpha and beta, to this beautiful, steady, low peaks, steady troughs, brain waves far apart. You're watching a TV screen, you feel your brainwaves slowing. Your brainwaves are steady. Deep breath in. As you exhale, drop into your body. Thump right into the heart, thump into the hips. Just feel your spirit, your energy coming back into your body. It's okay if you feel a little panic here. I'm safe to be in my body. Good. Visualizing your safe space, feeling your brain waves relaxed. Start to let any tension out of the palms, out of the hands. If you feel that you're supporting yourself, sink deeper into the bed, lay against the surface, lean against the wall, whatever you need to do. If you're busy listening to this, just imagine your movements and your steps getting a little bit softer. Maybe you're holding your child. Just allow your body to soften, having a little less grip, a little less resistance in your body. Not yet, but in just a moment, you're going to feel a body part and knowing, a flood of energy rush in. So take a deep breath in. As you exhale, allow this flood of energy to rush into your body. It's going to happen quick, trust it. And behind this flood of energy, your intuition is going to begin to speak to you. Introducing itself, making a reconnection, bringing you a message that you've been needing to hear this week. Trust exactly what you're hearing, what you're feeling. If you feel your mind take over, just go back to visualizing that brainwave or that place in nature and wait. This is exactly where you're meant to be. Feeling the top of your crown open. Taking whatever intuition is bringing to you and visualize this shift, this healing, this change in your life. Deepen your breath. If you're not feeling a strong message right now, know you are opening up your body to be this open vessel, this open channel, and I promise you it's going to come in tonight. You can bring 2 fingertips, tapping on your heart, just asking if there's anything that the Spirit wants to show you through your intuition, through your body. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, let it go, and just remain silent for a moment. Call in your angels, call in your guides. Just taking a moment to receive. Take a deep breath in, lift your shoulders up towards your ears. Exhale, drop your shoulders behind your back. Roll them 3 times one direction. Shoulders are kind of the highway. Roll them 3 times the other direction. They're like the intersection between the body and the mind. We hold a lot of tension in our shoulders and it can shut us down from our body connecting to our mind. So they're a really important energy center. And when you're ready, you can come back. Maybe give yourself, if you're sitting up, a spinal twist. If you're laying down, take a big stretch. You can spinal twist with one leg over across your body or with another. So if you had something come in, if you had a feeling, a knowing, or a reconnection with your intuition, go ahead and put it in the comments. If you had a good experience, go ahead and tap those hearts. I like to know what's speaking to you guys and what's actually coming through, because I can see and filter and feel into different things all at once, but I like to hear what's going on with you guys. Okay, so my intuition, so getting back to the story, 22222, for those who are coming on, I got engaged. That was on a Tuesday night. Monday morning, I'm blow drying my hair. I saw so many mountains. I saw a lot of pine trees, Emma. Yeah, I think that's maybe where we were on the same wavelength. Blow drying my hair, and I had boom, 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 3 images come in. And what's really cool, Jeff and I are going to tell the story, but it's what I was seeing and what he was planning and how this evolved. We had both of us were using our intuition. It was pretty cool. Joy in finding community. I love it, Liz. Jess, feeling hot but feeling very relaxed. Energy moving. Last night I was clearing a lot of energy before bed. I had a lot on my heart and it was coming out, and Jeff was like, your back, the rest of your body is so cold, but your back is so hot, especially around your heart. And it was just lots of energy. And I mean, I was bawling. It was good. It was a good thing to clear. So yeah. Okay. I think, Jeff, are you on here? Can you hit request to join? And if you don't see it, I can invite you. We're going to tell a little bit of our story and how this engagement unfolded. And stop. Can you show your face? Not the dog. Not Maya. Jeffrey.
What's up?
Okay. I think we might have a little echo because he's like just in the other room. Jeff, I want to see your face.
Well, they want to see the pup.
Okay. So, did you do the exercise with us?
Pieces of it. I was a little distracted with Lou.
Oh. Jeff said, Jeff, I thought the surprise guest was Tom Cruise. Close enough. I mean, Jeff White in the flesh. He's kind of like Tom Cruise.
True.
He gives a little hair flip, little Tom Cruise, action. Okay. Thanks.
It's not working right now.
Okay. So, what do you want to start with? I'll go and go and go, but what was it like proposing to someone who feels very intuitive? Tell me, let's start with that.
She made it hard. She made it very, very, very hard. Let's just say that. There was a lot of storylines I had to try to set up and keep straight, but it wasn't easy to do.
So honestly, okay, so Jeff, when did you plan the date? Like beginning of February?
I had a plan in place probably end of December, beginning of January was when everything started moving.
I would say just a couple weeks before. So 22222 is my favorite number. And it was like the universe was doing backflips. Like my angels, I was kind of like embarrassed for them. I was like, you guys need to chill out. Like it was getting out of hand. The amount of angel numbers and synchronicities and signs, like it was the most I've ever seen. And so, all the best women make it hard. That's so true. All the intuitive women. They were like going out of their way to, I mean, I had a lot coming in. Some of it was about my dad's healing journey. And then a lot of it was about our engagement, because a couple of days before I would see like a car would pull up and it would be like 812 on one license plate. And then the car next to it at the stoplight would be 218. And I'm like, what in the world? But I really had no idea. So he asked me, he's like, hey, let's have a Valentine's Day date on 2222. And because on the actual Valentine's, we were helping with a Thai yoga workshop at our studio. So I didn't think anything of it. I was like, yeah, great. And he's like, let's go to Cafe Gratitude. I'm like, that'd be cool. And then a part of me, I started asking you like early on, I was like, oh, are you going to propose? But I wasn't really serious. Do you remember?
You started asking that a bunch, and I had to make up things like, no, let's do 123 123, which you didn't like. So December.
That's like in 2 years.
I mean, it's fine, right? We'll be all right. So I had to start doing that, and I had to try to lead you off the path and doing things where you're like, we're going to propose. I'm like, no, no, we're just going to dinner. Because Sue, thankfully she had a Thai Valentine's workshop on Valentine's. So it's just late Valentine's, right?
And you kind of had to like shut me down, and you hurt my feelings a couple times. You're like, I don't really want you to be upset if.
Yeah, I did, but it's had to get you off the scent because you were on to me.
So I kind of, when he first asked for the date, I was like, oh, maybe he's going to propose. And then he shut it down pretty good. So I literally had no idea. So Tuesday was 2222. Monday morning, I'm drying my hair and I see 3 images. I see us outside, like somewhere in Kansas City, getting engaged, like him proposing. I see Chris Douglas, he's a great photographer if you need one. He did awesome. Big Fish KC. We'll tag him in the replay. But I saw him taking photos, and then I saw us celebrating at Cafe Gratitude. And then I saw like a ring on a plate, but none of that happened. So I was coming from work. That day I had to go get fingerprinted for a new license. And I was about to get my fingerprints done. I'm like, oh my gosh, does this come off? And the lady kind of looked at me. I was like, I'm so sorry. I think I'm getting engaged today, and there's going to be photos. And she was super cool. She was like, oh yeah, honey, I'll help you. We have the wipes over there. And then I ended up sending her a photo later the next day. But I was like, either I'm going crazy and making all of this up in my head, or it's really what I'm feeling and knowing, because the images came in. My body it was like it took all I had to not feel the energy trying to come in. It took everything for me not to notice what the messages and the guidance was coming through. But that's really not how it played out. So I came from work to Cafe Gratitude, and so I pull up in the parking lot and I'm looking around, and I'm like, I don't see Chris's car. Jeff's like, yeah, I'm already inside. I got a table. So I was like, okay, so I'm gonna go in and they're gonna have this like private table for us. And I walk in and Jeff's like talking with somebody we know sitting next to him. And I'm like, and he wasn't even that dressed. I mean, he looked nice, but he wasn't like, I thought, he'd be like over the top and then I would be the underdressed one. So I sit down and didn't have a lot to say. Jeff, tell about like what it was like for you up until this point.
So have you ever had like that first date feeling where everything's awkward? That's the first thing that came down because she sat down and you could tell she was expecting something that wasn't going to happen. Then it was funny because it was like, oh, okay, let's have some fun with this, because you could tell she was a little bit upset and a little bit like, it's not happening.
You took pictures of my empty hand I got the cozy,
Well,
it's a hot lemon drink, and he took pictures of my empty hand.
that's because
Just,
she was drinking tea and playing on her phone. I was like, oh, she really wants nothing to do with me right now.
okay, so I'm in fight or flight all day, right? Like I'm living in my body enough because I'm excited and I'm happy and I'm seeing all the synchronicities and I'm feeling this. It was just like this energy was like pulling me towards this event. But right when I get into Cafe Gratitude and I'm not having the experience I want, I'm like, oh my God, he's not going to propose. Literally, how many times have we thought I'm making this all up in my head? Like my intuition is deceiving me. I can't trust this. That's what I started to think. So I switched into fight or flight. So what do we do in fight or flight? We don't feel, we want to distract. So I get on my phone and I open up Facebook, because Facebook is really great at a quick dopamine hit. I feel like I'm going to cry. But I'm like, if I start crying, I don't want my boyfriend to think that I'm mad at him because he didn't propose. Like, that's kind of crazy. So I get on Facebook and the first thing that pops up is a friend of mine got married, and they had only been together like a year and a half. And I'm like, look, my friend got married and they haven't been together that long. And what did you say? You were like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, next year's not that far.
Yeah. So I'm playing on my phone, and I mean, the dinner was pretty quiet. And
And it kind of sucked. It wasn't its typical, like, normally it's really, really, really good. It was just a little bit,
and
everything tasted a little bland, I think, because we both were not feeling.
well, that I was thinking about that frequency, right? Like what you reflect, you attract. And so the whole day was like bliss for me. I had a really easy day. And then as soon as I came into
Bliss
the
for you. I had to wait up the street in my car because you wouldn't leave.
oh my gosh. So I took a half day. I took a half day. Like I took the morning off because I like did the sauna, I did the ozone, I did a face mask.
Made sure she looked good.
I like did my make like I was packing my clothes, trying on different outfits. I took like half the day off. And and so and it was cool. I had like a cancellation that made that happen perfectly. And Jeff didn't even go to work, and he's waiting down the street. Did you turn your find me, because I could have tracked you? Did you turn your location off?
Yeah, my plan, I like was turning it on and off a couple weeks before. So if like you ever thought like it was off, it was just like, oh,
Did you remember when I sent that to you? I was like, how
yeah.
come I can't find you?
Oh,
Okay.
it's like an iPhone update or something. I think keeps turning it off.
So, and okay, so Jeff, not in this case, but if you're in a like narcissistic dynamic, they will shut you down and make you think you're crazy. Jeff was not doing this in that way, but like you will be feeling and seeing things and you will just be shut down over and over and over. So pay attention to that. So my intuition like was leading up to this. And we're at the restaurant and the food wasn't that good to us.
Yeah.
But think about it. I was on this really, really high frequency. I get in there, I know I'm not getting what I want. I'm feeling like my intuition's betraying me, deceiving me. I'm starting to get pissed off at God. And the food just is kind of crappy. And we love this restaurant. I've been back since and the food was fine. So don't worry. Cafe Gratitude is still bomb.com. It could have been us. Could have been our frequency. Could have been the dishes, the energy we were putting out. The cooks were making the dishes and the food just wasn't its best. You know, when it rains, it pours. When you're down, those are kind of things that happen. So we're at the restaurant. We're at the dinner. We're leaving. Jeff grabs my hand to go across the street. And I'm like looking for our photographer's car because I know what he drives. I'm like, where is he? And he gets in, he walks me to my car, gives me a kiss, gets in his car and leaves. But he had backed in his spot.
Oh, come on.
Kind of he backed in the spot. So I was like, he's trying to get kind of a quick getaway maybe. But he didn't seem, too in a hurry.
And I kept playing the card like a few weeks before, my car's not in a good shape. Like, I need you to follow me home. Like, I'm scared about my car breaking down. Trying to get anything here.
Yeah, because he just got a new car and he ordered it around Thanksgiving. So he was driving a car that was literally living on a prayer.
No, the Civic was perfectly fine, but I just kept feeding you that just to try to get you something to, like, get an excuse for you.
Okay, so spoiler, we got engaged at home, but I saw outside and then I saw Cafe Gratitude. Jeff, can you speak to the timeline? So something about intuition. I wrote about this on the blog. So if you go to middaypigeon.com when we get off of here, you can read the full blog. But I was seeing something to know about intuition is timelines. When you're feeling something and it doesn't turn out the exact way, you might be feeling into a timeline. The mind is going to try to take your intuition and change it and tweak it and make it into something that seems logical. So I saw a couple different plans, not knowing that, Jeff, were these the plans? Tell me about what I was seeing.
So the original plan was, I was going to say I'm coming off from work. We were going to go like by the World War I museum where that scout statue is. And I was going to be like, because I've been feeding this line the whole time. My car, it's not doing good. Like, it's sputtering. It's barely starting. I kept feeding you that and feeding you that and feeding you that, just waiting for you to bite on it.
He told me, he texted me, and he was like, hey, it on 2222, it was like, it barely snowed. It like dusted. And he's
It
like,
was just cold.
I don't trust my car in the snow. I'm going to probably head home and work from home. Isn't that what you said? And I was like,
Oh, that was after the change of plans.
Okay.
Because the original plan was like doing it at the Scout Museum, saying my car broke down. I need you to come get me. Got a tow coming, blah, 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 blah. And I was going to walk by this, just be like, hey, let's go over here. I've heard it's a good view. Take you to the Scout and then do it there. And my mom was going to be there with the dogs. And I was going to have Chris either by the bench or like underneath it. And he was going to pop up and get photos. It snowed and it was cold. So that quickly got scratched that morning as I'm sitting up the street, watching the snow fall on my windshield, waiting for you to leave the house. I'm like, we got to change the plan.
And I had texted my mom Monday morning and said, Mom, I think Jeff's up to something. And I was going to use my gifts to feel her out. And she kind of gave it away. And then she crushed me. She was like, oh, I was hoping it would happen when you were in Mexico. So I'm like, so she knows.
And she did good by telling me that you were on to her. Or that you were on to me.
She's like, hey, Jen's on you. And then later that day, she goes, I just wish he would have asked us. And I was like,
oh I did, by the way.
He did. Well, my dad made it difficult.
Yeah.
My dad was easy to give me away, so to speak, but that's when his health was getting a little rocky, and like he went to the hospital like one of the times, and then the other time he had a really rough day. So Jeff was like sweating it, like I don't know if I can.
My intuition was like, is this a sign?
No, literally, right?
Yeah.
Or was your intuition telling you to ask, and your mind was like, was your mind getting paranoid?
It could have been both, but I was like, oh man, he keeps blocking it.
Yeah. So he had the first plan I had seen it being outside in Kansas City. Mm-hmm. What about us being at Cafe Gratitude? Did you think about that? Were we going to celebrate there? Why did I see a ring on a plate or us having photos at Cafe Gratitude?
Well, so the audible was, as I was sitting up the hill, I was texting my mother and Chris, being like, all right, what are we doing? We got to change this up. And my mom was like, let's just living room. I was like, really? Like, I don't know what I do right there. I was thinking maybe you come up the stairs, do it like right there, be ready at the stairs. And I was like, no, let's do it over here by the door. And we kind of thought about it. And I was like, all right, let's do it by the front door there. Because initially, like, I didn't know where I was going to do it. and we even cleared a bunch of stuff out and everything to where it looked really good. But yeah, it was either the scout right there. Like I said, I was going to do it the scout or the scout statue, or it quickly audible the home and the dogs. I was like, I don't know how I'm going to get the dogs to be quiet for me long enough to get in the house and everything else. So it was like, none of it was scheduled, none of it was rehearsed, none of it was planned. The last minute one, it was just like, let's just run with it.
So we left Cafe Gratitude, and I was like crushed. I was like, it didn't happen. I don't see the photographer, and in the back of my mind, I was like, it could still happen at home, but Jeff was acting like totally normal. So he's in front of me, and I was like, he is kind of driving. Jeff's like a very careful driver, and I was like, he is going a little fast, and he's in front of me, and it's like he was trying to stay in front of me. And so I turn on the radio and I turn on country love songs, and I'm like, and I'm hearing all these like beautiful lyrics. I'm like, does Jeff even feel this way about me, that these artists are singing about their loves? And I'm like, I don't even know if this is going to happen. And at that moment, when I started to have that thought, I was crossing a bridge over water. So water's in motion. A car sped past me with 222 on the license plate. And I passed a billboard that said 777. And so it was like overcoming emotions, 222, keep the faith, 777, luck is on your side. So we get home, and Jeff had already run upstairs, and I pulled into the garage, and usually he waits for me because we let the dogs out of the kennel in the garage, and then it's like the best day of all 4 of our lives, that we get to see the dogs get to see us. The dogs were out of their kennels, and I walked in the basement, and it was quiet. But before I came in the garage, here's where my intuition was trying, and my mind played me. So I was looking for Chris's car in our by our house, in front of the house, and I didn't see it. But there was a Jeep in front of the house, and his mom was 2.5 hours away, and I should have known that was her Jeep. But my mind, again, I was so like married to what my intuition had showed me, that the mind was taking over and then shutting down, saying, it wasn't what you saw, that's not Chris's car, this isn't happening. So I walk in the house, and it's quiet, and I don't hear the dogs. So I'm like, something is up. And at this point, I am a emotional roller coaster of a mess. I was like, I'm going to cry when I get home either way. I'm going to cry that I got engaged, or I'm going to cry if I don't get engaged. So as I was walking up the steps, Jeff, what was going through your mind?
Get ready, because you were on my tail the whole way. It's like, I can't get anything past you. That's what was on my mind. It's like, hurry up. Like, she knows. But yeah, so I quickly beat you inside, and I was like, all right, gig's up. She knows something's coming. So I just quickly grabbed, my mom was actually sitting right by the front door, and so I just quickly grabbed the dogs and got ready.
And
And I was like,
flowers all laid out. They're beautiful.
yeah, and I was like, if I'm not ready now, this isn't gonna happen. And so thankfully the girls were awesome. They were sitting, they were ready, and they were waiting for you.
The
And you came
only
up,
time they've ever been that good. Their whole
yeah,
time.
and it was awesome because you came up the stairs and instantly knew what was going on, and you lost it.
So I went to the kitchen, I put my stuff down, and here's the thing, I was still like kind of in fight or flight, not living in my body, and I hadn't noticed Chris was there, and Chris was like the telltale sign when my intuition, when I was getting these visions, premonitions, this foresight of what was about to happen, it was like, Chris will be there. That was the surest thing. And I didn't see him, and I'm like, what the heck? But I just was in my head was swirling. I put my stuff down. I was ugly, crying, shaking. Jeff had said, say it.
I asked you to marry me like 3 times. The first one, you like completely ignored me. The second one, I think you kind of heard me, but then you're like, say it again. And I was like,
Because
babe, will you marry me?
I wanted to fully feel the moment. But I was like, I got to get my stuff down. And then I wanted to take my coat off, but I was like, I didn't think about taking my coat off. Like, there's pictures of my coat on. But then so I was like, say it again. And then the third time he asked me, I said yes. But then Chris was right there taking photos. And that was like the telltale sign of, I was like, and in that moment when I said yes, Jeff, your hand was shaking like a little girl.
Yeah,
Like,
well, that's because I thought I was turned down the first 2. I was like, uh-oh, this is going to get real awkward real fast.
and then where would have you gone to live?
Well, Mom, I'm going to a hotel room. Gracie,
So Jeff shaking, put the ring on, and in that moment when he was like holding me, I was a little like overwhelmed. Like, I mean, highly sensitive people, you know this, your nervous system gets so overwhelmed, you're like, even touch, and he wanted to hug me and kiss me, and I was enjoying it, but I was just like kind of frozen because my nervous system was so overwhelmed. And in that moment, I thought, I can trust my intuition. So like, how many times have we thought that I can't trust my intuition. It's like we're so sure of something. Everyone has something like this where they're what you feel your body, your intuition, the spirit is giving you your yes, speak this, speak life. This is the truth. And then your reality, everything in front of you is not what you're feeling. Um, so that's what I want to share with the story. Jeff, how did you have to use your intuition to get this proposal across?
There's probably quite a few. So we talked about like rings before. I had to use my
Once
intuition.
we
Yeah,
went in.
like once before. Yeah. I had to use my intuition and a little motherly guidance there to get what we had talked about, and then also change it up to where it'd be better and get it here in a
You guys
good
want to
manner.
see it? He custom made it. So it's rose gold, and then it is his synthetic birthstone is that pink, and then there's a little bit of diamonds underneath, and
Yeah,
then this princess cut. But we only been dating for a few months, and we were shopping somewhere, and I was like, let's go into was it like Zales or something?
I don't remember.
Go into this jewelry store in case you ever need my ring size. And we were kind of laughing about it, but we went in. And then the salesperson was really good. He was like, oh, try these on, try these on. And everything that I thought I liked, I ended up not liking. And I loved this princess cut. But the ring at the store was silver and it had like a
I think it was
blue
emerald, maybe.
emerald in it. And I was like, I don't like the blue and I don't like the silver, but I like the princess cut. And so Jeff custom made it. And you had to go with what your intuition, what felt good to get the ring made.
Yeah, and that was nerve wracking because there was a few moments where it's like, oh, the band's going to be too big, like proportionate to the diamonds and all this other stuff. But I just had to trust that they knew what was going on and they would make a good product.
And our mind tries to talk us out of listening to our intuition all the time. So his mom came in was it the first week in February that we had the CrossFit competition?
Yep, that Friday.
So mom came into town to watch, and she does CrossFit too. I think she's on here. Mary, you're amazing. You made our proposal night amazing and possible. She had like bandanas for the dogs, and she did amazing and like spread out the flowers. And you'll have to go to the blog middaypigeon.com and look at the photos of our cat just being a perfect model. The animals were so good, and animals are easily influenced by energy. They don't have egos, so they can't. Yeah, there's your mom. They don't have egos, so they can't like resist intuition and resist where they're being led. So like the dogs are literally never that good, and Sparta was perfect.
My
So
mom's probably crying now that you say that.
she really is. Uh, good job, you guys made her cry again. um, so so we're always trying to not listen to our intuition all the time. Our mind tries to talk us out of it. So Jeff's mom came in. They said the morning of the competition. So it was a Friday, Saturday comp. So Friday, she came in Thursday night. Friday morning, Jeff and her are going to run some errands, like go to Costco.
I thought the gig was up then. I was like, okay, she knows.
They were gone forever. And when they got back, well, they were gone, and I thought something, and they got back, and I was gonna kind of sniff them out, but they brought in a decoy. They brought in these huge toys that were actually not animal toys for our dogs, and Sage had a blast with them. They were so cute. But something in me was like, where are they going? But and again, so mind tried to talk me out of it. Mind was like, no, they had errands and they could have taken longer at Costco, and you're thinking too much into this. Like, that's the ego trying to shut us down. And my intuition was like, why would Jeff and his mom be gone for a long time? So I honestly didn't catch
And
on
you kept
then.
badgering me too. Why is she coming in on Thursday? Why is she coming? Don't worry about it. Like that's what I kept saying. Oh, she's just gonna
Well,
have fun. We're just gonna go spend some time together. Blah blah blah. And you're like, well, what? And I was like, nope, don't worry.
but she came in on, I didn't, so why did she come in on Thursday?
We could do that on Friday.
Okay, that makes sense. So I didn't even know that. Um, so what, I guess, closing thoughts, closing words, because Jeff made dessert and then we have leftover nachos from last night, so I might have to go in a second. Closing thoughts or words, how it's like, maybe advice to the partners of intuitive men or women trying to pull a surprise.
Gosh, I don't know if you can. It's
You have
hard.
to use your guidance, right? Your intuition.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's one of those where I've almost got to be two steps ahead of you, so I gotta like I guess feel what you're feeling, but feel it before. I don't know. It's really hard to explain. It took a lot of like very much being in tune with what's happening with you. and seeing where your head's at and mind's at and body's at and everything else. And I was like, okay, I had to sniff your sniffer before you sniffed me, if that makes sense. So like whenever you were getting ready to ask me a question about it, I had to be ready. Like I said, the first time you asked me, are we gonna get engaged? I had to pull out, no, let's do it 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Just because it was like the first thing that came, and I was like, all right, I gotta say this to get her off my trail. And so it was almost a battle of intuition.
We have to, okay, I have to give credit to our friend Jess. She had a vision board dinner party on Friday
The Friday
night. We got
before.
it right, and I should have brought it. And like a fourth of the vision board, I put 2 people holding hands, and there was an engagement ring on her hand. What were you thinking as I was putting that on my vision board?
I was just like, the whole time I was thinking gigs up. I mean, that's what I was thinking. I was like, she knows. How do I get her off the trail?
Yeah.
But no, I just had to keep having fun with it. Then it's like if she knows I'm gonna have fun. I thought the night at Cafe Gratitude, you knew, and so I was like, I'm just gonna keep having fun with
I
it
did kind
because
of know, but
yeah,
I got shut down so bad that I didn't think it was going to happen. I was like,
yeah,
I can't trust my intuition. And honestly, I was thinking about that. I'm like, how am I supposed to be an intuitive energy healer and help people? And if I'm like making things up in my head and not tapped in myself. And so my message for you all tonight is even if it doesn't play out in front of you like your intuition is telling you, still trust your body.
yeah,
I think that had I taken a moment to meditate, to fully sit with my body and see it and listen, I think I could have had more come in. But I was like, oh my God, I'm about to get engaged. So I just wanted to roll with the excitement. But I mean,
yeah.
the twos were ridiculous. I kept saying,
Tuesday, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Like
no,
the 3 or 4 days before that too, you were seeing a lot. I know there was a bunch with your dad too, but I was like, oh gosh, I'm gigs up the whole time. I thought you knew, and I was just like, oh gosh.
yeah, it was out of control in a good way. I was kind of like, oh my gosh, to my angels, like kind of embarrassing me by going so hardcore. Um, and one last thing I thought of, so with when you're seeing signs and numbers and synchronicities and feeling the flow, I thought of this in my yoga class this morning. When I started teaching yoga, I saw 1111 and all the encouragement, and I would see little like people would say things about yoga, just all the synchronicities and all the signs and all the encouragement. And this morning when I was teaching, I still know it's in alignment and I still know it's like completely supported in what I'm supposed to be doing. But I thought, you know what, I don't see that anymore. So I think when I were talking about seeing signs and seeing encouragement and feeling in your body, just because you're not seeing those things anymore doesn't mean that it's
Yeah,
it's a lost cause. So follow your resonance. Just because I'm not seeing numbers anymore doesn't mean our engagement isn't supported, right?
yeah,
So um listen to that, and keeping a journal is so helpful because you can go back and read on those times like what came in for me and keep the faith there. So okay. Well, Jeff, yeah, it does get tough when the signs go away. Thank you. They're saying
droopiest lip.
she's a little droopy lip. Thanks for coming on and putting up with me.
Yeah,
I'll be out there in a second for dinner. I just want to open up the comments, or if anyone has anything they really, really need addressed today. Next week we'll actually be in Mexico Sunday night.
yeah,
We might honestly be able to do this. I logged in at 7-Eleven with 11 people logged in. We'll see. We might be able to do this Sunday night in
get
Yelapa.
litty then.
The Yelapa vibes. Okay, let's try it. Now, I was almost about to say we're not going to do it next week, but I think Jeff and I, we can come on and do something.
Maybe.
Yelapa, this is where we do our retreats. Yes, do it from Mexico. It feels really good. I don't see a reason why we won't be able to, other than Jeff might. We're going to be hanging out with the locals, but Jeff might be busy, but I won't.
I'll be on the floor.
We're going to just enjoy ourselves, and then I get so much from that land. I've been to Yelapa a handful of times, and I can tell you I feel like I heal a year's worth of healing when I'm there for like a week. It's crazy. So we're just going back for us. So let's plan on Sunday night doing it again. I was about to say that, so next Sunday I'll be gone, but no yoga. I won't be teaching yoga, but I'll have someone subbing my class, and you'll really like our subs. So you can go to my class, but we'll do a live. We'll transmute those Yelapa vibes. Jeff will be there. Maybe he'll entertain us a little bit. So, okay. Jeff, you're free. I'll be out there to eat here in a second.
I'll eat all the dessert waiting for you.
Thanks, babe. You're the best. Love you.
Love you too. I don't even know how to close this thing.
You just never get on social media. You just hit the little X, Jeff.
Wait, I do this?
No. Don't show our dirty couch.
Well, but she's so cute.
Okay, bye, Jeff. If anyone else has anything they want to share, or if they were like, hey, I really need some support tonight. If not, I feel like when we're in Yelapa would be a good time to connect. So how about that? We'll save the one-on-ones. When I'm in Yelapa, I feel always super open. You'll have a lot of good support. So next week from today, bring your questions, your concerns, the things you need healing. We'll invite more of you to come on. We'll do it kind of traditional style. Tonight, we wanted to soak up this engagement. Last week, we talked about healing Parkinson's, eczema, and anxiety. And since my dad started his healing journey, we had a lot of questions. So, okay. Well, I'll see you all next week. Bring it. Next week, we want to be here for it. So bring your energy, bring what you need to be healed, and don't be afraid to show up. I had another person tell me I smell like Santo Palo without using it. Curious what that means. Palo Santo without, I think, did I tell you that, Liz, when I hugged you last time? It could be, so something as simple as that could be like if someone's smelling it on you, that it's encouragement for you to use that maybe you need that. Palo Santo is to clear and sage is to bless. Yes. Okay. Sometimes I mix it up. So yes, I did. So you probably need it. The essential oil from Young Living, the Palo Santo yourself, it's probably just going to be of a benefit for you. It's like a benefit for you. So if it's like you're feeling that food or thinking about that food or tasting that food without eating it, then your body probably needs it. Same thing with scents. So awesome. Okay. Well, we'll be back next week from Mexico. We'll be in Yelapa. It'll probably be a little bit dark, but we'll give a little tour of where we're at and then bring what you need next week, because I know that I will feel super connected and ready to help people, ready to serve, and we'll be there. Okay. So bring whatever you need next week. It'll probably be a longer session. So we'll start at 7 and we'll just go until everyone gets what they need. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks for joining. Have a good night.